The philosopher and poet Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "Sometimes struggles are exactly what we need in our life. If we were to go through our life without any obstacles, we would be crippled. We would not be as strong as what we could have been. Give every opportunity a chance. Leave no room for regrets." I have many struggles. Some are undoubtedly more significant than others. I struggle with things that most of my peers don't have trouble with. For example, I cannot walk without assistance, nor can I write very fast. Often I feel as if I cannot relate with those around me because of my disability. That is part of my struggle. Hardships are something that all humans have in common. The important question we should ask ourselves is not why do we have the struggles that we have. Rather, we should be asking, how do we overcome them? As a child, I would always ask my parents why I was different from everybody else. Instead of thinking of how I could overcome adversity, I was wondering why I even had to deal with adversity in the first place. It is only when I got older that I realized what a trivial question that was, because there was no real answer. Even if there was one, it wouldn't have satisfied the younger me because I would have still asked why. When I finally stopped asking why, I started asking how. How can I make sure that I'm not missing out on what life has to offer me? That was an easier question for me to answer. Instead of answering with words, however, I answered with actions. I loved school. I still do. So it was natural for me to strive to excel when it came to academics. When I started elementary school, I quickly realized that math was not going to be my strongest subject. It still isn't. Subjects like English and reading were a lot easier for me to comprehend. These are the subjects I grew to love. Books opened up a brand new world for me. They taught me how to view hardship in a different light. I saw that hardships could be overcome. I saw that they could bring growth to a person. In books, hardships can be symbolic. I saw that a single hardship could mean that great things were coming a character's way. All they had to do was make it through the tunnel. Great things take time to happen. I learned this again and again through the many novels I wrote growing up. It took time for me to realize that I could apply this to my own life. Fictional stories can be applied to real life. Of course, life is not a fairy tale, but it is your tale. A tale that can be spun each day, depending on the decisions we make for ourselves. Like my mom always says, life is what you make it. When I was younger, all I took from her statement was that I had to stay positive. Now I see that there is a better interpretation, which is based on fulfillment. She meant that using my potential, I could work hard to achieve something that I could be proud of, and that my achievements could trump my hardships. Maya Angelou was noted for saying, "One isn't necessarily born with courage, but one is born with potential." I think she was referring to the potential that all humans have to fulfill their dreams as well as their destiny. When I was born at 1 pound and 13 ounces, I was filled with potential, according to Angelou. That same potential fills every one of us here today. Every so often, I think about my accomplishments and what I am yet to accomplish. So far, I don't think I have accomplished anything worth writing about, but I hope I do someday. As of now, I feel fulfilled when I get a good grade on a test and when I write a good essay. I felt most gratified when I was inducted into the National Honor Society. Based on my experience, I believe that what makes us feel accomplished depends on what we've struggled with in the past. Some of us feel accomplished when we perform well in our respective sports, others when we win academic awards. When it comes to fulfillment, it does not matter how big or how small one's struggle is. All that matters is how one learns to view struggles as something that motivate one to work hard and succeed. In the response to my first quote about struggle, I would like to say that Nietzsche meant that our struggles can be good for us in some ways. And it's hard for me not to agree with him. Struggles make one's achievements worth it. In closing, I'd like to thank my mom for always believing in me and encouraging me to do my best. I'd also like to thank my dad for teaching me how to have thick skin and how to work hard to achieve my dreams. I'd be lost without them both. I'd like to thank my older brother Chinadu for always answering my random texts while he's away at college. Anale, my partner in crime since the day we were born, thank you for always finding a way to make me smile. I also want to thank my Aunt Mary for her help in raising me into the person I am today. Last, but certainly not least, I'd like to thank all the staff here at Hurricane. Thank you for always being so kind and patient with me throughout the years, as I know that having to print copies of notes that I couldn't write myself isn't the most convenient thing to do. I'd like to thank my aides, Miss Andrea and Miss Lori, for helping an extremely shy freshman get used to her new school. You ladies will forever be my friends and singing partners. To my fellow seniors, I'd like to remind you that despite recent changes, we have all fought the good fight. Thank you.